And a happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game, live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Big Joe Dewitt and Chase McCabe, Dr. Crane, Nick Frazier on the ones and twos back at the studio. And yeah, we're here.
It's like watching Picasso paint. How you put all this together is simply amazing.
Now, there comes a point,
Nope.
and I hope certain people hear this. I'm tired of putting it all together.
You got it, man.
But
you're entrusted with a task that you do.
I'm not entrusted with a task. It's nobody else wants to do it, and it is what it is. So this is how it's going to be today, and I just have to deal with that. But we're excited to be here at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Line.
Okay, good time today. Listen to Jeff Fisher. And then at 1, Mike Griffith from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution will join us talking Georgia and Tennessee today. 1:30, our high school coaches game of the week. Pearl Cone in Oakland, which is Bernetti from Pearl Cone, and Chris from Oakland will join us. A very funny comedian in town at Zany's. He opens for Sebastian Maniscalco all over the world. But tonight he's on his own. Pat McGann.
Yes.
Will join us at 2. And then at 2:45, it is the world famous, the renowned, America's most popular game. What day is it? And celebrity birthdays.
Can't wait for that. I lost yesterday. I need to try and rebound today. So that'll be good.
Yep. Every day, new opportunities, new wonderful things that can happen. So today is a chance for you to get back and win celebrity birthdays.
Cool. Well, apparently we're back now. I don't know how long we dropped off, but we're good.
Hey, buddy. Good to see
Dr.
you, man.
Crane, if you would talk to me and just let me know that this is actually working.
Yeah, you guys are loud and clear over the airwaves of the greater areas of Nashville.
Good. I'm glad. So
Same here, pal.
hope everybody heard that. Anyway, yeah, great show. Excited about that and excited to hear about Jeff Fisher and being back with the 85 Bears and probably get his thoughts on the new quarterback as well. Titans will be at Nissan Stadium on Sunday. And keep this in mind. I don't know if I'm curious of how much people care about this, but I thought about this the other day. This is the penultimate opening day at old Nissan Stadium, the last one, the second to last one.
Well, 2 things. First, stop using words like that I just got to look up. So that's it. Yeah, you were correct. You are correct. Yeah,
you are correct, sir.
2 years they'll be at the new stadium. By the way, the new stadium is gigantic. I mean, it is just gigantic and coming along well. So yeah, that's it. So get out there and support the team on Sunday. It's supposed to be hot, but according to Davis Nolan, low humidity for us on Sunday, and it'll be a fun day. And it'd be good to talk to Jeff Fisher about quarterback and handling because he saw J.J. McCarthy up close and personal on Monday night. You know, it's funny. People are like, well, it's helped J.J. McCarthy that he sat out a year. Remember, J.J. McCarthy really didn't sit out a year of his own accord. He was injured. That's why he had to sit out a whole year. But you saw, he played Monday night. Can he keep it up on this weekend? We'll wait and see how that goes. But, yeah, it'd be good to get the opinion. And, we always talked about Steve McNair set for 2. Can you imagine in this day your quarterback rookie sitting for 2 years? I know Jordan Love did it in Green Bay, but 2 years. My goodness. And it benefited. They talk how well that benefited Steve McNair, and it paid off handsomely.
Nevada Josh, do we sound better now? Thank you for the updates. You can weigh in 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com.
It is. Hey, everybody. We're walking by. A beautiful day downtown. We're at the Omni Nashville Hotel Bar Lines. Come down and say hi and see all this for your own eyes. How great. People taking pictures of us over there. Not bad. Good times, man.
It is indeed.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Let me say
Go
it.
ahead.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's get to it.
So our question of the day, today is a day we'll never forget. 9/11, 24 years ago, just awful, awful. And you see the hashtag that they never forget. Yesterday was an absolutely terrible day. We're a sports show, but we're also a life show. We talk about life and you and everything. Our question of the day is 615-737-1025. I want you to call us or text us, please. Tell us what is good in your life. Tell us what you are grateful for. We're going to throw so much positivity on these airwaves and through downtown Nashville, Middle Tennessee today that it's going to be crazy. We want to know what you are grateful for in your life, what is good in your world. We want to know that. 615-737-1025. I'm going to begin. What's good in my world is that I have a Lord and Savior in Jesus Christ who's forgiven me for some of the stupidest things ever happened on earth with me. I'm grateful for Chase McCabe and Nick Frazier, who every day, this is not a job, this is a journey. And I'm so grateful for these two guys in my life. I'm grateful for my granddaughter, I'm grateful for my kids, and I'm grateful for my friends. I can keep going on and on, things that I'm grateful for and the gratitude and things that are good. Those are some of the things off the top of my head that I am extremely grateful that are good things in my life. Chase McCabe.
Well said. Look, it's not hard to be nice to people. It's a choice. I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I have a lot. I have a great support system, whether it's my mom or great friends like yourself, Dr. Crane, Rick, and countless others. I mean, that's my why, is my people. And they're awesome. So, I mean, I have a great job that I might be a little frustrated at the current moment because
Right.
of things not working.
Right.
But I do love what I do and where I work and the people I work with. So, I think that is a fantastic question because we need to focus on the good. I think there's too much focus on the bad and the negative, and everybody just let's just focus on the good today.
Yeah, just tell me
So I
what's
like
good and great, what you are grateful for. Dr. Crane, what are you grateful for? What's good in your world?
I'm grateful for my family, especially my mom and dad, my brother especially. My mom had something when I was a kid on my wall. Because you have a brother, you'll always have a friend. And I take that to heart because my brother is one of my best friends. I take a lot of pride in my grandparents, my grandmother especially, last living grandmother. So she's been absolute rock in my life, and I'm very thankful for that. Very, very, very very thankful for my friends. I call it my core four. I have four best friends that I've been friends with since kindergarten, grade school, and they've been friends all throughout my entire life, and I'm greatly appreciative of that. There's just a lot of good in this world that's not highlighted enough, and I love this question of the day. So that's what I'm grateful
Yeah,
for.
we're just going to hammer it. I mean, what's good? What are you grateful for? I mean, we can go on. I mean, I've got a list of 100 things, and my brother, my family, my friends, I mean, on and on and on, things that I love and I'm deeply appreciative. That's good in my world. And every day I get up, I have that in my world, and it's good. And I had no idea what gratitude meant until 2 years ago. I had no idea. I heard the word, oh yeah, it means this. But now I know what it means, the gratitude in our world. And so we want to hear from you. This is our show. It's your show. We want to hear what's good in your world. What are you grateful for? Please let us know. 615-737-1025. We'll have our fun today. We got a great show. Coach Jeff Fisher is going to join us in a little bit. He's here. So we'll continue what we do to make you happy and make you smile. But again, grateful for you guys, Chase, Dr. Crane, our great staff at Cromwell Media. I mean, everybody there. I mean, it's not a job, man. It's a journey. It's a beautiful journey.
We'll read a couple before Coach joins us. Jeff from Nebraska says, I got married a couple weeks ago to the most beautiful woman, and we're getting our first puppy in a few weeks.
Yes.
Thank you, Lord, for thinking about me. I'm alive and doing fine.
A good puppy name for that puppy? Nick.
Scotty from Dixon. I'm grateful for Fanatics betting app. I won over $4,000 since yesterday betting on tennis, soccer, and golf.
Holy cow. What's his name?
Scotty.
Scott, this is the IRS. How are we doing today? Oh, man.
Michael Madison, I'm beyond thankful for my dad. He almost died 5 months ago from a punctured artery, but has since fully recovered, and you never be able to tell he was ever in the hospital from it. God is beyond good. I can't put into words. That's
That is
fantastic.
good. That is what we're talking about. Thank you.
Mike in Lebanon, Jesus, my wife and family, and living in this country where we have the freedom of speech and freedom of worship of the Lord.
There we go. I mean, every day you wake up with that. Good.
Let's see. Brian says, my wife and hockey season being upon us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the rookies are on the ice.
Today, right now.
Yep. David Big Rock. I'm grateful that I know that 1 elbow equals 2 feet.
Yes, thank you. That's it. Keep it going.
Hey, Coach Fisher knows that.
He does.
We were told that he knows every rule.
Every rule.
Matthew from Jolton. I'm grateful for my friends and family, Big Joe and Chase, for the internship opportunity and getting another day closer to graduation.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Grateful for my dad. He's been as hard as he's been on me my whole life to make me the man and my brother that we are today.
I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, you wake up every day with the good. So yeah, you'll see the bad things, but I'm telling you, there's never been so much hope in the world as there is right now. I'm telling you, believe in that. There's a lot of hope, and the hope, my friends, is us. That's the hope.
Amen to that. So that is our question of the day. We will go back to that throughout the show. And look, yes, it is hard to believe it has been 24 years since our world, our country changed forever. I was talking to my mom last night because, last night was just a good night to go out to dinner with your mom.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I remember, there's a lot from when I'm younger that I remember bits and pieces of. I remember that day. I remember that entire day. I was in the 8th grade. And I think I grew up maybe a little quicker than I was supposed to that day. But we should never forget, and it should be taught, to those that weren't around when it happened, and reminded that, as much as we would love for everything to be good, that there is evil in this world, but there's ways to combat it.
Hope always wins.
Hope always wins. Love always wins.
And that I saw a thing this morning: 343 firefighters perished on 9/11.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get into it, it's heartening, heartbreaking, and everything else. But the hope of us and life and people and the Lord and all that, I'm telling you, it's good.
Were you at Channel 2 yet?
I was. I didn't go home for 4 days.
I bet.
It was on a Tuesday morning, and that's why every time I go everywhere, I have an extra bag of clothes in my car.
Yep.
Because I didn't have one.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I have an extra because of 9/11.
So we obviously will recognize that throughout our show today. 615-737-1025. We're live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Coach Jeff Fisher will join us coming up next. He had a fun Monday night, even though it wasn't fun for the Bears, but he had a fun Monday night. We'll talk to him about that. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Faith, hope, and love are some good things he gave us, and the greatest is love.
Will Allen Jackson, where were you when the world stopped turning here on this September 11th, 24 years ago? Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines, and we're pleased to be joined by Coach Jeff Fisher, of course, of the Cats in AF1. But you remember that, of course. I mean, getting ready for, what was it, week 2 of the NFL season, and then football stops, the world stops. It's just everybody's focused on New York and Washington and Pennsylvania at that point.
Yeah, we all, those of us that were, of age, remember exactly what we were doing when we found out. I was downstairs in my office it was a Tuesday, getting ready to, gather the coaches up for a game plan meeting for the next opponent. And, somebody called, said, turn the TV on. We did it. I went upstairs, joined. I must have spent 2 or 3 hours with Floyd Reese and Steve Underwood. Just I don't, the emotions that were just so hard, but just witnessing it, and actually we're there before the second plane hit the second tower. And then it was Flight 93 that went into the Pentagon. But so, yeah, it was a wild, crazy, emotional week and patriotic week. And and then we just, the league needed to push pause for a week. And then we just said, all right, here we go. We're going to play through this. And I think it was a great decision on behalf of the league. You can imagine the league people making decisions on going ahead and playing when there's league employees that had lost loved ones in those towers.
Yeah.
So we couldn't find their family members. And so, yeah, there was a lot going on. I would recommend those that didn't, that don't remember, they want a brief refresher, go see Twin Towers pull it up with Nicolas Cage. Remember that?
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. And the reason I bring that up is one of the 2 main characters in there, in real life's name was Will Jimeno. Will was one of several of the Port Authority officers that went into the tower, and then it collapsed on them. And this story is about them rescuing him. He was a survivor, and he came out. And then I ended up crossing paths with him at a charity event. And so anytime after that period where I would have a game or we would have a game in New York, regardless of who I was with, I would find Will. Will would come out. I'd introduce Will, and Will talk to the team. And then actually we had Will in town. And so, it was really an emotional time back then. But to meet up and become friends with Will was really a special moment in my life. Some of those things that football takes you to, and
right.
Just to share over and over his experience in that bottom of that collapsed tower was amazing.
They said one of the worst mistakes the National Football League ever made was playing the Sunday after JFK was assassinated. Had they come and said played on Sunday, would you have guys said no?
I think yes. I think we would have. There was too much going on. I don't think you win and lose in the National Football League. Oftentimes you lose because of distractions that get out of control. I've always said that. I mean, if you can avoid distractions in the building, in your locker room, and player distractions, you got a chance. You're healthy and you move forward. This was the biggest distraction in history, and I don't think we could have pulled it together.
But you fast forward to the next week when baseball's back, racing's back, every NFL comes back, and I will never forget 27, who was, Steve and Eddie were obviously your leaders, but Eddie running through the tunnel with the flag.
Right.
And just that sense in us. And there was just that sense of pride with it.
Yeah. I remember, 2 years prior, in the parade after the Super Bowl loss, I remember somewhere along the parade, somebody was holding a sign up, and the sign said, "A setback is a setup for a comeback." And that
Oh wow.
that resonated with me. Here we are, 2 days after losing the Super Bowl. And so I did the research on it. It was a book that was, that had been gone to print. And so 2 years later, that was the motto. I mean, that was the country's motto. It was like, your comeback is already taken place. I mean, before those towers hit the ground, we were off and rolling, and we were going to make a difference and find out, and all do all the things that we did, that our country did. There was just so much. There was so much, and so many people that were inspired differently. I mean, when you have an a big time NFL player, just walk away from the game and enlist and go over and then lose his life over there, and to friendly fire, that's different. I mean, it was everybody has a story, and so many people's lives were altered, and they moved to different directions just to be a part of that comeback, I guess.
I was looking, where's that in the coach's handbook? How to deal with something like that? There's not in the playbook. It's not in the handbook. You were not taught that in college. I mean, so you literally had to learn as you went, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what you do. I mean it's all about communicating. Anytime anything comes up, you got to stand in front of your guys, and prior to that, you need to have a pretty good relationship with them, so they listen and they trust you, and so whatever comes up, you need to share with them and how to avoid things. But yeah, I mean it's just about talking to them and listening to them, and it's like, okay. I remember getting everybody in and together and saying, okay, do we have anybody have any family issues? Is there anybody that has relatives here or there, or anything that you're concerned about that we can help you and try to find out information for you? And, there may have been a couple, but there were no immediate losses or members of the families that were lost in the collapse or at the Pentagon. So that's the big thing, get to make sure everybody's okay, and then you start to deal with it, and you start to comfort them, and there's a lot of emotions going on, and we became head coaches real quick in their careers, become pretty good counselors.
Oh, I'm sure. Our question of the day is, what's good in your world? What are you grateful for? I'm asking you, what are you grateful for?
My past, the current, my present, what my future holds. I don't know what that is right now. None of us do, but I'm grateful for the family and friends and grandkids. And, I'm grateful for this country we live in, but we got some work to do right now. Yeah, we got a lot of work to do after what happened yesterday. And that is just mind-boggling to me that something that this country politically has gone this direction, and I'm not picking sides or I'm not being critical, but I'm just saying we need to stop and look around here and figure out what's going on. This thing's not good. This thing's going to be a mess. You saw that stuff last night, and I did it this morning, and everything that's going on. And for my whole career, I knew the day I stepped in the NFL or the day I stepped in that at the end of the office as the head coach that, you're gonna keep your own philosophical, your political, your spiritual beliefs to yourself, because if you lean one way, then the other side says, why aren't you over here? It's just one of those things, you kept it separate. But at this point, there's going to be people that are going to stand up, but on both sides. But what we need to realize is that we need to listen to each other. I mean, that's what Charlie was all about. Just listening, and, it's a lost art right now in our world, is listening. I spoke yesterday in Dallas to a group, a corporation, Tzatziki's, the Mediterranean food chain. Good friends there. And I spoke, and my everything that I talked about came right back to listening.
Yep.
It's a lost art right now. And, I referenced a play of all years in 2002, and our fourth game, we were 1-3, and we're playing the Washington Redskins. And, I went over and as a TV timeout, and I told a player on our team, who was in the huddle, what they were going to do, and what he needed to do. And that's rare when you can tell somebody what's going to happen the next play. And it was, I got you, coach. I got you, coach. I'm good. And he did the exact opposite of what I told him and gave up a touchdown pass, and we lost the freaking game. So I got you, coach, is all about hearing. And hearing is all about, right now in my mind, something going in one ear and out the other. Listening is when you really focus. And I referenced the fact that after that game, we had another week. We beat Jacksonville. And after that game, the players that were there, remember, I brought the League for the Deaf and the Hearing Impaired into the bye-week practice in the indoor facility. And when practice was over, I joined both groups, our team on a knee and the League for the Deaf. There's about 20 kids, and the diversity with these kids was amazing. They're little, 12, 14-year-olds and 25-year-olds. And the only thing that they had in common was their world was silent. I mean, I'm talking about dead freaking, they're deaf. And their livelihood depended on the ability to read and pay attention to the signing and the signers and and so we had a question and answer and between the kids and the team. And it's like, through the interpreter, through signing, that, the first question was, Eddie George, did you always want to play running back? And Eddie's response was, well, yeah, kind of, but I did play a little bit of linebacker at Fort Union College, military, And the next question was, Steve McNair, how's your thumb? And he got up and he answered the question, and they got the response through the interpreter. And when it was done, I sent him inside. We were going to meet him for lunch. And I got the guys around and I go, guys, their world is completely silent. They don't hear anything. And their success and livelihood and everything is based on their ability to listen, but they listen with their eyes and they watch the hands. And I knew that 2 weeks prior to that, the reason we lost the game was because one of our players, I got you, coach, heard what I said, but he didn't listen. And that was a huge focus that season and so on and so forth. So I don't know how I got onto this, but
that was great though.
But I think that's what's missing. How many times a day do you go up and talk to somebody when they're on their phone? I got you. No, I'm listening. I'm listening. They might be talking to two people. No, I mean, it's not. So I know I got back to it. We need to sit down and listen to each other. Really listen to each other, not be distracted. And so anyway, I mean, it was an emotional evening for everybody. And now here we are today, on the anniversary of 9/11. So it's a great country. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for, being here, getting up every morning and being able to affect people's lives in the smallest way or the biggest way, whatever I can, because, I'm committed to giving back till my last breath.
Love it. We will come back and we're going to listen to you tell some stories about the 85 Bears. Monday night.
Baby. Let's go.
You got to reunite with them on Monday night. We will do that. Coach Jeff Fisher is with us. We're at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel here on 102.5 The Game.
I watched the practice yesterday. I was in Frisco.
Are we back?
We're back.
Oh, sorry.
And we're back.
I couldn't hear it. Jason Big
That's all
Joe.
right.
Was that a hot mic?
No,
No,
no.
no.
Okay, good.
No.
I'm just talking about your burger.
Yeah, yeah.
Burger's good here.
Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game with Coach Jeff Fisher. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines. And you were at Soldier Field Monday
Yes.
night. It was
Yeah.
the reunion of the 85 Bears and the Super Bowl shuffle Bears.
And everything associated with it. Yeah. So the Bears have done a great job over the years with their alumni stuff. And so not only did they invite the 85 Bears and everybody on the roster, coaches that are still with us, but they also, it was their normal alumni weekend. So you got to see some other guys that had played, but not necessarily on that roster. So yes, it was the first time that I had been back and participated in anything, because I've been busy for so long. And wow, what an experience, what an emotional experience. And to every step you took or every place you looked was just a trip down memory lane. And it was, I'd say 7 or 8 out of 10 of the guys you recognized, and then there's a couple like, well, where'd your hair go? Or they might have been a little bigger, a little smaller than they were but so many of them I hadn't seen in 40 years. And wow, that was a world rocker, just how the time went by. But it was like once we got seated at the table or got engaged in a conversation, it was like yesterday. It was really cool. So from Jim McMahon, Steve, from Jim to, Steve Fuller was there, Mike Tomczak was there. The quarterbacks were there, and Singletary, yeah, Hampton. We just lost McMichael, unfortunately. Spent quite a bit of time with Connie Payton, Walter's widow, and Jared Payton. That was a great story here when we had him, and he got him a touchdown carry at Houston, and that was his only touchdown in the NFL. He was thanking me profusely, but yeah, it was just really good. There's some guys that just couldn't make it physically, but other guys that you look at and go, oh my gosh. And it's great success stories too. Tommy Thayer's been an analyst for the Bears broadcast forever, and Kevin Butler, our kicker's he's an analyst at the University of Georgia, and he's been doing broadcasting and stuff like that. So yeah, guys got into business, been successful, and then there's some guys that needed a hug. They do, and everybody needs a hug after they retire, in my mind. But these guys especially. But it was really an awesome experience. Now, for me, it was different. I didn't play a regular down snap in '85. I was on injured reserve, but I was there. I practiced. I traveled, and I have some fond memories. I found a picture of me. I was at the. So we lose one game, right? You guys remember who we lost to? We lost down
Miami.
We lost to Miami. So Steve Fuller is a starting quarterback for the game because Jim McMahon has been body slammed 2 weeks before. He's got a lacerated kidney, not supposed to drink, and all that kind of stuff. And so, Steve gets his world rocked, and I'd forgotten this, but we were at an autograph signing thing, and I've got Steve's in his uniform. His arms around me, and I'm helping to carry him into the locker room, assist him to go in the locker room in street clothes, and knowing that Jim McMahon is coming into the game to finish the game, and also knowing that it was an evening game. I think it was a Monday night, whatever.
Yes.
It was. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I think he had his last beer about 4:00 in the afternoon. So he had a good freaking heater going on, and he's in there, not supposed to play, the kidney laceration, but we got through the game, we lost with all that. But yeah, there's so many stories, some of the stories that came back.
During the game, Aikman talked about baseball, you're compared to the 27 Yankees. Football teams were forever compared to the 85 Bears. When you hear that, you were in the trenches, you were there in the facility, you were there every day. What does that mean to us who from the outside looked in that every team is going to be compared to the 85 Bears?
Well, I mean, I think it's great for the NFL to have a team to compare to. It was different. It was a different era. The game was rough and tough and hard, and then there was this amazing mixture of players and football scheme, specifically on defense, that created that that energy and that success. I mean, if you ever go back and look at that, I mean, the quarterbacks were just not finishing games,
Right.
and ducking and getting hit on every play. There was no time to throw. And now Miami broke the code. They did. They figured out how to do it in that one particular game, and I think that was more of a Buddy's Buddy's commitment to doing it his way rather than maybe make a little adjustment. But I've had numerous defensive lines. I would have to say that the defensive line that I had in Philly with Reggie and Clyde and Jerome and Mike Pitts was better than the defensive line that lined up for the Bears. But it was a matter of timing and offense's inability, coordinators, play callers' inability to figure out how to protect. But if you, man for man, I would submit that the defensive group that I had up front in Philly was better than the guys that I played with in Chicago.
Holy cow. Will you please tell the story? It's one of my favorite stories ever told. The meeting Saturday night with Buddy Ryan in New Orleans,
Yeah.
when he told the guys he was
I will.
leaving.
So we're going to the Super Bowl, 2 weeks between championship games, Super Bowl. First week we practice in Champaign. Second week we go down to New Orleans. All the hoopla during the week, Jim McMahon, all this stuff going on. But we were practicing. And so my role was I was practicing. So I'm going to go out and when the offense is up, I'm going to give the offense a scout team picture and do all that kind of stuff. Well, when the defense is up, I always went way back behind the free safety, and I stood with Buddy. And I talked to Buddy. It was all season. That's where I stood when the defense was up. And Buddy says something along the lines of, hey, he called me Guppy. That was my nickname. He goes, hey, Guppy. I looked at him funny, and he goes, you and what's her name? Are you guys planning on getting married? I go, yeah, we're planning on getting married this spring. Well, he goes, you need to tell her to throw you a retirement party because you're not worth a you-know-what, and you're done playing. And I basically responded, I think I might have used the F word. And I told him to kiss my ass. I don't know if I'm done playing, but I'm going to decide that. You're not going to decide that for me. Why? He goes, because I think I'm going to get the Philadelphia Eagle head job, and I want you to come put the defense in for me. So this was Wednesday on the practice field, and I couldn't tell anybody. So we go Thursday, Fridays, up to Saturday night. Saturday night, traditionally in the defensive meetings with Buddy would get up, and he literally, you just kind of, you don't even want to do eye-to-eye contact because he's going to call out people in the meeting the night before the next game. Call you dumbasses and all this kind of stuff. And you got to do this and you got to do that and da-da-da-da-da. So he talked for about 5 minutes, and then he would walk out, and then we would, on the projector, the 16 millimeter film, we would sit there and we'd watch the second half, the last half of our opponent that we're playing the next day. So that's what we were expecting to do. Buddy got up in front of the defense Saturday night before the 85 Super Bowl, and he looked around, and he took his glasses off one other time I was with him. It was after that is when he choked on the pork chop in Philadelphia for the Dallas game. But he never took his glasses off. He took his glasses off. He put them on the table. He looked around and he goes, regardless of what happens tomorrow, you guys will always be my effing heroes. And he walked out. And it was really quiet. And then I didn't say anything. And then everybody knew that Buddy was probably leaving. McMichael got up. He threw the chair through the chalkboard. It was sticking in the chalkboard. The projector Hampton throws the projector across the room, and that meeting was over. That was it. And at that time, you don't want to be any part of anybody that has anything to do with New Orleans or the New England Patriots offense, because it's not going to be pretty the next day. So
You knew you were
was
going to
it.
win, didn't you?
Oh gosh, yeah. So yeah, there was no doubt. And so after the game, and we kind of work our way back to the hotel, I took a couple friends that were in for the game up to that meeting room, and that chair was still in the chocolate. But that was it. I mean, that was it. Buddy was Buddy. Everybody loved that man. And, at the same time, everybody loved Mike, but the team wasn't split. It was just, there were guys that, were, if Mike and Buddy end up squaring off on the sideline, which they did many times, most of the time I was between them because I was standing next to Buddy. And when it got really heated, Buddy would take his headphone off. He would give it to me, and I'd be standing there holding the headphone, but the headphone's connected to the rest of the headset, which is on a belt to his waist. And I'm going with him down the sideline while he's tapping Mike on the shoulder and looking up and telling me he's going to kick his ass. That's how the sideline stuff went. Yeah.
What's the maddest you ever got on the sideline as a coach, as a head coach?
Well, it is Baltimore. McNair, last play of the game. Steve, clock's running. We get everybody lined up. Steve has the poise to knowing that the game's going to end, and Steve snaps the football while those lazy freaking defensive linemen were taking their time to get on the other side of the ball. And he snapped the ball while they were jumping onto their side of the ball between the A gaps and the B gaps and scored. And then Ben Dreith, the referee, said, the ball was snapped legally. They were offsides. Okay. Declined the penalty, touchdown, we win. But he says, due to the magnitude of the play, we're going to have an untimed down at the end of the game. And we couldn't get it. And we lost. That was the maddest I think I've ever been.
What was that? The
It was
division?
Baltimore at home. I can't. I mean, oh, man. No, it was during the season.
Okay.
It wasn't a playoff game. So, but it was during the season.
I thought you were going to say Albert.
Yeah, I thought that's where I thought you were going to say too.
There are times when I acted really, really mad, but I was acting mad. I was mad at Albert. I mean, yeah, when I saw it, I was mad. I mean, I was mad because I knew we were going to lose Albert for a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, at that time you did something like that. I mean, they're going to lose a player for, 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, I don't know. I was busy this weekend, but to me, what I saw at the beginning of the Dallas game.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how'd that go down. You guys how'd that go down? Was there a suspension?
No, the league said that since he missed the entire game, that was a suspension.
And they find this game check.
Yeah. So he lost $50-something thousand on that.
He has freaking $500,000 in an account that's going to pay for his uniform violations week after week after week. It's BS. It's tax deductible. I mean,
yeah, but yeah, that was.
I'm going to tell you. Somebody asked me what I had done, and I said, regardless of what the league does, I'd add 2 or 3 weeks onto it.
Yeah.
And man, I wouldn't let him in the building for 2 weeks and then bring him back in the building and get his butt into shape. But that is wrong. I'm sorry.
Do you
My opinion.
fault Dak at all for he didn't commit a foul. He spit on the ground. He didn't spit at him, but it does look like he kind of baited him a little bit.
There's always two sides to everything, and when there's a fight, there's always something going on beforehand and this and that. You got to get the details, but you have to separate it. I mean, yeah. Okay. So yeah, you spit on our field.
Yeah. Okay.
Disrespecting us. I get that part, but you don't spit. You don't do that. So anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's clean it up.
Yeah.
You got it?
100%.
All right.
We'll take a quick break. Do one more segment with
Sure.
Coach Jeff Fisher here at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines today. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hey guys, Big Joe here. Did you know that September is Suicide Prevention Month? But for us on this show, we talk about it every single day. Unfortunately, we have all been affected by a friend or loved one who has suffered from depression and is no longer with us. And you know, for the last 2 years, we've been on a mental health mission on the Chase and Big Joe show. We tell you that if you are struggling, please talk to someone. Talking to someone saved my life. And if you're in that dark place, I want you to know that help is around the corner. We have partnered with Unity Psychiatric Care, a simply wonderful place right here in Middle Tennessee for you to get well. And here's the best part. It works. All you have to do is go to theGameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show, and there will be a link to Unity Psychiatric Care. So many have reached out to us over the last couple of years. Now we have a partner that cares about you. And listen, you do not have to go through any of this alone. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. That's 1-888-508-8002. We tell you all the time how much we love you and our world is a better place because you are here, and we mean that. Again, go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show, and you'll see a tab for Unity Psychiatric Care, all the information you need, and they're based right here in Middle Tennessee. Make that call because help is just around the corner. And my friends, you do not have to go through any of this alone.
The game live today at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Great crowd here, and continuing with Coach Jeff Fisher. How's things going with AF1?
Going really well. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff going on. We got a few more cities that are getting ready over the next 2 to 3 weeks to unveil their teams. So we'll be bringing in several more franchises. So things are going good. We're gonna have some meetings late in the month, and we're we got the rule book done, and we got some good stuff going. So everything that we tried to get done at the end of the year that you just can't get done, we're going to get done now, from broadcast, streaming, all the everything. So we're kind of excited about it right now.
I mentioned this to Joe when we started the show. Sunday will be the second to last home opener at this version of Nissan Stadium, a place that you have a lot of special memories. And it's hard to believe that this thing's only got a couple more years and then an awesome new stadium. But, for those of us that,
Yeah.
grew up in that stadium and you coached
the home
there.
opener. I mean, how can you? Can't ever forget about the home opener.
Cincinnati?
Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately for us, Jeff Blake cramped up. It was a hot afternoon, and
Achilles Smith came in. Is that right?
Yeah. But we're down 4 or 5 minutes left to go, and I'm looking, who's that? And somebody said somebody had binoculars on their bench and said, Jeff Blake, the quarterback's cramping. Oh, dang. And then we're down by 9, and Steve put 10 on the board right there at the end, and we won the opener, and then we're undefeated at home. So yeah, it is hard to imagine that so much time has gone by. But yeah, who are they playing?
They're playing the Rams.
Of course.
So this is the Jeff Fisher Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Of course they are.
So it'll be.
Were the Rams in LA now, or
Somewhere
Yeah,
like that, yeah. Still
yeah.
playing at the Coliseum,
Are
I'm
they?
told.
Yeah.
Still out there.
It's good to see you. Thanks.
too.
We love it when you
Yeah,
come by
thank
and tell
you. I had a
stories.
blast. Yeah,
Yep.
we'll do that. And everybody take a deep breath and send a prayer up for 9/11 and this country. We need it right now. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
100%.
All right.
Coach Jeff Fisher joining
Thank you.
us here on the show. We'll talk some college ball coming up next. Mike Griffith going to join us here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Appreciate Coach Jeff Fisher for joining us in the first hour. And security, please come to the stage. Thank you. Just kidding. We're excited to continue the conversation, though, with Mike Griffith. Dog Nation, talk some SEC. The big game this weekend, Tennessee and Georgia, the Bulldogs and the Vols. Mike, how you doing?
Oh, doing great, guys. Thanks.
When Georgia, your sense that Georgia may have on this Vols team, is it a little bit different based on what Tennessee's done the first couple of weeks with Joey Aguilar running the Josh Heupel offense?
I don't know. I think it's more about Georgia being different. And, you know, they've got a first year starting quarterback in Gunnar Stockton that's never played in this kind of environment before, and you know, they've got an offensive line that's had a couple key injuries. It was already a bit of a makeover with 4 guys off to the NFL. So some different receivers than you've seen, a different backfield. So I think it's really more about Georgia, you know, looking different, trying to play the same against Tennessee, but they got a lot of new guys that haven't done it yet.
Was last week a look ahead, or do you think Austin Peay is that good that they were able to hang with Georgia?
I think Jeff Ferris is, if coaches were a stock, I'd be investing in this guy. You want to talk about a rising star head coach. I mean, this guy's got all the markings of it when you look at his resume and and I'm not trying to turn this into the Austin Peay show, but I can't tell you how impressed I was with this coach, and especially when I looked into his background and saw he was a former national assistant coach of the year, and his background with David Cutcliffe, who you guys know really well. Just the way he represented himself and the way their team played. You know, they look like a big-time football team. I know they're FCS. I'm well aware of that. But if their win over Middle Tennessee State didn't convince you that they're doing something different there, then, you know, the way they played Georgia, I mean, they're 1 yard away from being within 1 score of Georgia in the fourth quarter between the hedges. So I think that was part of it. But I think another part of it, too, was that Kirby was going to be vanilla. They didn't do a lot with their motion. They didn't do a lot with their shift. They certainly didn't try to force the ball downfield or even take many shots. They just didn't want to turn the ball over. They ran a very basic offense, defensively very vanilla. You didn't see the pressure package. You didn't see, because Kirby doesn't want to show that, because he knows that it's going to be a 3-dimensional chess match at 3:30 Saturday. I mean, he's playing against a coach that's a former national championship quarterback, and the adjustments are going to be going crazy in the first quarter. We're not going to really know about this game till about midway through the second quarter. So pretty vanilla from Georgia. But you got to give Austin Peay props and Coach Ferris. I mean, this guy is really impressive.
We're talking to Mike Griffith from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, part of Dog Nation. Mike, does it mean anything that Georgia dropped in the poll? Can Kirby use that as a motivator for his football team on Saturday, or is this just a big bunch of nothing?
Oh no, I mean, I don't think the poll is the motivator for Kirby so much as just it's Tennessee. And, you know, this is a game now that Georgia's won 8 years in a row. It's a game that Kirby's a little bent on. You guys know he never beat Tennessee as a player, and he's had a lot of success as a coach. I think he was up there as Nick Saban's defensive coordinator for 4 games, and I think they won by double digits every time. And I think Georgia's won by double digits with him as a head coach every time. So it's kind of like, is this the Georgia team that's going to hold the line? And beyond that, the team itself has doubts. I mean, you mentioned the 28-6 win over Austin Peay. Nobody was impressed with that, and even against Marshall. And you look at the offense, they've had one play go longer than 25 yards all year long, and that was a screen pass. So the offense has lacked explosivity. There's guys competing for playing time. There's a quarterback trying to prove himself worthy. There's so many more things ahead of the polls. And you guys have seen the spread. I mean, it's dropped from 7 to 3.5 points. I mean, everybody's on the Vols pretty hot.
Is this right where Kirby wants everything to be, Mike?
Well, it's convenient to say that from an intangible standpoint, but if he had his brothers, Jalen Carter and Brock Bowers, would be coming out the tunnel. You know, I think where he'd like it is to have completed a pass to a tight end last week, which they did not. To have a pass play that went at least 20 yards last week, which they did not. He'd like to see some more accuracy downfield from Gunnar. He's only taken a few shots, but he wants Gunnar to have more confidence doing that. And I think he wants ball security. I mean, Nate Frazier was a guy, their starting tailback. He had 3 fumbles last year, and he had a fumble against Austin Peay. So there's some concerns with the ball security. If you're going to play not to lose on offense, which is kind of what Georgia does, because they've got a great defense and great special teams, you got to have ball security, or that strategy goes right out the window.
Mike Griffith is with us. Looking at some other games in the SEC, the other one that is very intriguing to us, obviously, is Vanderbilt going on the road to take on South Carolina. We've seen Vanderbilt really a tale of two halves last week against Virginia Tech, where they struggled some in the first half and ended up, turning it loose in the second half and winning. Diego Pavia has been tremendous. And then South Carolina, I don't know if we've seen them go quite to the level that we think they can go to yet. So what's kind of your make on this game?
Yeah, I mean, there were 3 games. I didn't know which way you were going. There's a couple other games too out there, but on this one, it's interesting because South Carolina is ranked 11th. I don't think anybody really believes that they're 11th best team right now, but you know how pollsters vote. You vote a team. As long as they win, you move them. I don't do that, but a lot of pollsters do that. And to your point, South Carolina didn't look good. Their offense didn't look good against South Carolina State. They had 3 touchdowns. I believe 2 of them were punt returns, and another one was a defensive score. And Sellers really didn't have a great game. I mean, you got 2 of the premier quarterbacks in the country here in terms of playmakers and excitement. And it really kind of comes down to who plays better. The only thing I'd say about Vanderbilt, which, speaking of great coaches, you get Clark Lee line, get him the lifetime contract right now, is it's under the lights on the road. And that's tough. And I've seen, gosh, it wasn't so long ago I saw a Tennessee team with Butch Jones that had a chance to take command of the SEC. I believe it was 2016, and they
Yes.
lost on the road at South Carolina under light. Listen, it's tough under the lights everywhere. Hey, ask Alabama. They know that, right? Nashville. So it's a tough game on the road under the lights. You're right. Tale of 2 halves for Vandy. South Carolina didn't look great against Virginia Tech for a while either, and they needed special teams in that game. So this is a game of intangibles. Special teams has been big for South Carolina. 2 incredible playmaking quarterbacks. Who's going to have the better? Like 2 great golfers, right? Who's going to hit the pin? These guys are both going for it. I think it's an exciting game. I thought you were going to tell me maybe Ole Miss in Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas has got a great quarterback. Lane Kiffin under the lights at home. Is Sam Pittman coaching for his job? Or maybe we talk LSU in Florida and Billy Napier, back squarely to the ball under the lights at LSU, where Brian Kelly's 20-2, but lackluster performance last week, but the highest ranked SEC team at number 3. So will the real LSU Tigers and Florida Gators please stand up?
I love it. Mike, let me ask you this. Say Diego Pavia goes into Columbia Saturday night and has one hell of a game. They knock off the number of whatever South Carolina's ranked. Vanderbilt's 3-0. Does Diego Pavia become a Heisman Trophy favorite? Because right now there's no one, and we love him. We love him here in Nashville because he walks the walk, talks the talk. But if he shows we can do get South Carolina on the road, I'm telling you, Mike, he might be right now the favorite, or at least in the top 3.
Yeah, he could. I don't know about the top 3. But I think he could crack the top 10. I mean, right now it looks like, John Mateer, this week's favorite, John Mateer. Who's it going to be next week, right? We've seen Arch Manning. And so to your point, I would say Vanderbilt cracks the top 25. That's a good starting point. You've already got 11 SEC. I mean, think about this, guys. 11 SEC teams are in the top 25. 11 out of the 16 teams in the league. By my math, that's almost 75%, right? Then you look at the Big Ten, they got 6 out of 18, 33%. College Football Playoff Selection Committee, are you paying attention to this? Yes, Vanderbilt would crack the top 25. If Pavia wins that game, he's one step closer. I think he would need to beat one of the juggernauts like he did last year. The win over Alabama, I thought, was the one that really resonated, and that's still in the back of everyone's mind. But there's no question that would be a huge step forward for Vanderbilt to get a road win against a number 11 ranked team in a battle of Heisman favorites. I think Sellers is currently the number 2 favorite. Pavia would certainly have to pass him up, I would think, if he were able to beat him head to head.
All right, Mike, you brought up that Florida LSU game. We talked about this earlier in the week. I mean, they got to go at LSU, then to Miami, then play Texas, at Texas A&M. I mean, I don't see how Billy Napier survives this. You can say strength of schedule all you want, but that South Florida loss might be damning to him if they end up evaluating his job or not. This is a brutal schedule in a year where he really needed to prove something.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his coaching turnaround midway through last year was amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. But the problem was that DJ Lagway got hurt and really isn't healthy, and they need him to be at his best. He's one of those guys that moves the needle and does more than just what you see in the box score. And without a healthy Lagway, and then on top of it, you've got the unintended consequences of the NIL. And Lagway's been cashing a lot of checks, and that's hard on a team culture when a guy that's not 100% or performing well is making millions of dollars. So I think there's a lot going on in Gainesville, and they kind of did a coaching search midway through last year. Anyway, we know that. We know the money was raised, and we know they had their sights set on Lane Kiffin. Now I'm hearing Rhett Lashley at SMU would be the next guy. I mean, they're already a move ahead. There's just not a lot of confidence in Billy Napier, and I think that he's a good guy. He's a good person, but I don't think he brings the charisma that Florida wants or needs in that program. And I just don't know that it was a good fit from the get-go. I don't know that they were ready to gamble on Lane Kiffin. I mean, let's face it. Everybody's got a past. And even though Lane has, I think, dialed it down of late, I think, we're seeing more of a PG version of Lane Kiffin now. And, seems like his personal life seems pretty settled. Don't know if he would be a guy they would go for now. Don't know if Lane would leave Ole Miss. Seems like a good situation. They were, maybe one win away from the playoffs. So to your point, it does seem like it's inevitable. The question is when and how. Do you do it in season? I mean, who would be next up? Or do you struggle through the whole year? Because, you're always talking about recruiting classes and NIL dollars and having those boosters on board. The guys that write the checks ultimately make the decision.
Absolutely. And Mike, before I let you go, how's that Auburn fan base feeling right now?
Well, they got to be feeling pretty good. I mean, Hugh Freeze, the road win at Baylor was impressive. Bit of a cream puff win there against Ball State last week, and South Alabama comes in. I mean, with Oklahoma being on that, here's the thing I'm looking at now, guys. As tough as the SEC is, and I can't state that enough. The parity's like never before. If you're Auburn and you've got a game against Oklahoma next week, you got to play a lot of guys, right? I mean, but it's South Alabama, and we've seen the Jaguars. They're capable of biting you now. I mean, that's not a horrible group of 6 program. So you got to do enough to win. I just don't know if maybe you put the hammer down. So I'm not expecting that to be maybe a blowout of big proportion. It's same with Oklahoma as they go up to Temple, of all places. How in the world? There's got to be. I haven't Googled this yet. How in the world did Oklahoma get a game in Philadelphia against Temple? I want to know who pulled that one out. But and how do they play knowing they've got Auburn next week? So, and I say this because we're all cognizant of the betting lines now. I mean, it's one of the things about the state of Tennessee is those apps are pretty live there and people pay attention to those things. So I wonder about letdown games for Oklahoma and Auburn, which isn't the worst thing in the world if it's sandwiched between 2 big games. It's inevitable, right? Like LSU struggled last week against Louisiana Tech. They beat Clemson. Wow. First game of the week, huge win, vaults them in the top 5, and then they're home against Louisiana Tech. Now they got a night game against Florida. The reality is, and Joe, you know this, these teams, as much as you want to say give 110 every week, and there's only so many games on the schedule, there's a human factor to this. Just like Georgia. And again, I don't want to take anything away from Austin Peay because if nothing else, take away from me that they've got a great coach and the program's going in the right direction. But the stands are empty. There's a delay. It's just zap the crowd. Those guys are playing in front of empty bleachers against an FCS team. So it's going to be a different Georgia against Tennessee. It's going to be a different Auburn against South Alabama. But yes, if you're an Auburn fan, you're feeling pretty good. But you know what? Kalen DeBoer and the Crimson Tide, 73 points is a lot against anybody, especially when Ryan Williams didn't play. Let's see what they do against Wisconsin at home. If the Tide pounds Wisconsin, it's going to be a nervous bye week for both Alabama and Georgia because they're playing in 2 weeks, guys.
Woo. Yep, that's going to be a good one. Joe and I just saw Wisconsin firsthand up in Madison. They're not very good, so Alabama should have their way. Mike, thanks so much for doing this. We appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it, Chase. You guys have a great one now.
Absolutely. Mike Griffith from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and Dog Nation covers the SEC and Georgia. Appreciate him for joining us. We'll react to some of those things, and then bottom of the hour, talk some high school, Pearl Cone and Oakland. Looking forward to that matchup. Do that on Chase and Big Joe here at the Omni, 102.5 The Game. Big Joe 1025, the game on this Thursday. We're live at the Omni Nashville Hotel, proud sponsor of this here program. You can weigh in on anything we're talking about on our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHoney.com at 615-737-1025. And Joseph, this Saturday you'll be in Nevada, in Reno, as the Blue Raiders take on the Wolfpack.
The Wolfpack,
the
yeah.
Nevada Wolfpack. Pregame coverage at 2:30. And kickoff at 4. You can hear it all on 93.3 Totally Hits, Totally Nashville, and on the app and totallyhitsnashville.com. So you and Chip,
Yep.
I won't be with you this time. I'm sad. I had fun last week.
Flying out tomorrow. Hey, listen, keep the responses coming for our question of the day. These are great. You guys are wonderful. Our question today is, what is good in your life? What are you grateful for? What do you wake up every day thanking God for? 615-737-1025. We're going to flood the airwaves in Middle Tennessee with positivity today because of what happened yesterday. And, of course, 9/11 happening, the 24-year anniversary today. But the responses on our text line, on our personal message lines, on our Twitter and everything, thank you for letting us know what is good in your life. What are you grateful for? What do you wake up every day and thank God for every single day? And it's really empowering, Chase and Dr. Crane, to read these from so many different responses and different people. But there's so many in our text line. Thank you all, because we are the hope in the world. Us, me, you, everybody. And it's good to know that there's a lot of hope right now.
We had a gentleman walk up to us during the break and say that he's thankful for becoming a grandfather today.
Yep.
That I believe he said a granddaughter was born, and that is fantastic.
Yeah, he added that, he goes, now I can, 9/11 means good to me, means happiness to me, instead of thinking about what happened 24 years. So that's good. So keep it flying. We'd love to hear y'all's responses. 615-737-1025. What is good in your world?
Thomas in Thomas on a car phone, as he likes to say. Guys, I know I mess with y'all all the time, but I'm thankful for you guys. Y'all spread positivity when Joe is not being a grumpy old man. And I especially appreciate interviews with great people like Coach Fisher. He will always be a titan to me. Love that man. Thanks, guys. Love you, Joe.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you very much.
So we obviously appreciate that. I'm trying to find some. You respond, and I lose track of where some of these go. It's all good. Anyway, I don't.
There's so many that come in here.
4704 says Metro Police and Metro Fire have a large flag display flying out at Opry Mills today in honor of 9/11. That's cool. Very cool.
Yep.
9355 says I have to say that I'm grateful the Lord blessed me with my wife, my best friend that shares the same values and is a great teammate in raising our son. Every day coming home to them makes life better.
Yeah, love it, man. There's so much good happening that sometimes we need to have an expression, an outlet for that, and that's what we're trying to do, to let people know how great. What are you grateful for? I said I'm grateful for Lord and Savior who loves me, who's forgiven me. I'm grateful for Chase and Dr. Crane, my granddaughter, my kids, my brother. I mean, friends. I can keep going on and on in my life of things that I'm extremely grateful and just good in my world. And thank you, Lord, for that.
Randy, this is a good one. Men's mental health related. My now wife, who I've known since 1985. In 2007, she saw something wasn't right. Hadn't been for several months. Long story short, she got with my mom. They got me help. I was diagnosed with bipolar 2 and PTSD. I still see the same psychiatrist 18 years later. By not being afraid to speak up, my now wife of 15 years saved my life.
Yes.
Also, God gave me the gift and talent to be able to make money as a watercolor artist. So blessed. Thank you for sharing that, Randy.
Randy, God bless you. Thank you. And that, Randy, that's exactly what we talk about every day. Please talk to someone. Please talk to someone. You ask somebody how they're doing this. Nah, I'm okay. Nah, they're not. And keep asking questions. Keep loving on them. And that's the mission that us three guys have been on for 2 years. It's not just we speak it. We live it. And we want you guys to know how much we appreciate and love you.
2 more real quick. David in Murfreesboro. I have 2 God-fearing kids that serve others. That's David. Appreciate that. And Hair Metal Henry says, I'm grateful that I didn't win the lottery so that I will have to continue to make good life decisions, sort of.
We love
Henry,
you,
we
man.
love you. We love you indeed. Coming up next, a huge game tomorrow night in high school football. Pearl Cone heads to Oakland to take on the Patriots. We will talk to both coaches coming up next here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Coming up tomorrow night is our Metro Schools Game of the Week, presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. We'll hit the road, head down to Oakland High School in Rutherford County as Pearl Cone Firebirds will take on the Patriots. And starting things off now with our coach's conversation, one of our favorites, Kevin Creasy, is on the line with us, head coach of the Oakland Patriots. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's good to talk to you again. It's been a while, but your team starts off 3-0, the Oakland Patriots. How do you feel like your guys have played to this point?
Yeah, I think our defense is playing incredible. I think our offense and special teams are doing, good enough to win. But I think so far our defense has shown that, they're much improved from last year. And guys,
I reached out to them to help them
they got incredible speed. It's incredible to watch them play, and there's a lot of big time players over on the defensive side.
Do you feel like with the way the schedule was, your first 3 games, CPA was obviously one last week against Smyrna and then Huntington, that you guys going up against a good Pearl Cone team, you're battle tested at this point?
Yeah, we didn't know much about Huntington, West Virginia. It was kind of a bowl game in Eastern Kentucky, and come to find out, those guys they ended up beating the defending state champs last Friday night. So, playing at the at the bowl game in Kentucky, on the road, playing on the road at Smyrna, and then of course CPA being CPA, that was a tough 3 games. But I think Pearl can be our toughest.
Talking to my good friend, Coach Kevin Creasy at Oakland High School. Coach, you know how much I love you and high school football and everything. Thank you for playing this game. Thank you for you and Coach Bernetti doing this, because it's not a region game, but the fact it's a good football game between 2 coaches that I really admire, 2 great programs. Thank you for doing this, because it's a win-win, even though it's about winning on Friday nights, but off the field, Coach, it's a win-win for your program, for Coach Bernetti. That's the way I feel, and I hope you feel the same way.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Coach Bernetti does a heck of a job, and like I said, we're going to play a really good team that I felt like should have beaten CPA. We both should have came into this game, after big wins over CPA, and at the end of the day, I think to get a really good team out of Murfreesboro to play a really good team out of Metro Nashville, I think it's great for the fans. I think we're going to have a big crowd. And then next year we're going to return the favor. We're going to Pearl and playing on their new turf field. And so we got a 2-year deal in which they're having kind of the same trouble we are, just finding people to play. And so, CPA, same boat. So all 3 of us have kind of agreed to all 3 play each other. And like I said, I get along with Coach Martin and Coach Bernetti really well.
Plus, I mean, the speed of Pearl Cone, how well they played, how well they pursue. I mean, this is a game you could learn a lot from about your football team, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I look at the teams that we got to beat, and the defenses that we have to play against are really fast and athletic. Over at Blackman, over at Riverdale, over at Stewart's Creek. So all those defenses remind me of Pearl's, and Pearl's got some really good size too, which would be a challenge for our offensive line. And then, of course, on offense, you look at those guys on offense, they can take you to the house any play. And so that's what we need. We need this week 4 in the season. We could have easily found a cupcake and, done what a lot of people around here do, just pay some money, and next thing you know, you got a 50-0 win, and everybody feels good about itself. But like I said, we're going to find out a lot about ourselves after playing a well-coached team with really good players in Pearl Cone.
Coach Kevin Creasy with us from Oakland High School. Coach, appreciate the time today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.
Yeah, looking forward to it, guys.
Absolutely. Coach Kevin Creasy joining us here on the program from Oakland. We now move to the opponent, the Pearl Cone Firebirds, and Tony Bernetti is on the line with us. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
We're doing fantastic. We just talked to Coach Creasy. I mean, we know Oakland and what they've done historically, what they've done this year at 3-0. But I feel like your team going up against NBA, CPA, BGA, you have to feel like you're battle tested at this point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first 2 games help you a lot grow, find your faults early. The biggest thing, hopefully, you stay healthy during that stretch. That's how it works when you play tough, first 4 or 5 games.
Do you looking at your schedule too? You have a lot of games on the road. Was that kind of by design, and does that help battle test the team?
I think since I've been doing this, since I've been playing a tough schedule, the first 3 or 4 games over the years has really benefited us to grow faster. He has the good points and his bad points, but I knew the schedule would be hard, but it's just hard.
Right. Oh, yeah. Talking to the Pearl Cone head coach, Tony Bernetti. Coach, how many years is this now for you at Pearl Cone?
I've been at Pearl about 25 years, but I said this is my 20th year head coach at Pearl Cone.
Oh my goodness! And you got the state title a couple of years ago. What do you like about challenges like this, Coach? I've known you for a long time. You've never once been afraid of a challenge. What do you like about it, and what do you hope your kids take away from going on the road, taking on the tough 6A team in Oakland?
Man, they know we got to come play. I mean, they're established their program. They know that winning program. We got to match the champion and match effort, and they know we got to come play. If we don't, it might not look good.
Right.
But our goal is really to deal with adversity, learn how to deal with tough situations, games. They're going. I mean, I don't want to see us. I don't want to see us going to fight. We're going to continue to fight for 4 quarters, and whatever happens, can we deal with a win and loss in a right, good character way? And then we come back and we evaluate what we did wrong. That's to fix those things we did wrong, because down the line, if we fix them now early on, it's not going to hit us in the playoffs. We've already been there already.
Oh yeah, because you've told me, you said, look, once you week 1 of the playoffs, because we've played a team like Oakland and CPA and the NBAs of the world, we're battle tested. And I'm telling you, Coach, you're right, because when you hit the playoffs, Pearl Cone is always a team being mentioned to make it all the way to Chattanooga, and it's because you take on these tests, these early tests against these tough opponents, and it pays off dearly because you see the example, you see you guys fight like you talked about, and you see how much they love doing this, how much they compete. So well done by you, Coach, for recognizing that way early in your career.
I think a lot of times people look at us like, man, I tell kids, don't look at because you 0-3 or you 0-4 or whatever. I said, they're not district games. We take one game at a time, and we look for the future, not the short term. I could have played somebody easy if I could have found a game, but it's hard to find games. But I probably could have, but I would never know my flaws. So when I got hit in the playoffs or something, I ain't seen yet. I ain't seen 2-3 different officers of the season in the first 4 games.
Coach Tony Brunetti is with us from Pearl Cone. What does it mean as someone that's coached in Metro, as long as you have, to see games with Metro schools like this be featured? It's something that, we enjoy doing here and have done the last few weeks. I know it's got to mean something to you.
I mean, it's a pleasure. I mean, I think we want all Metro programs to excel and be in big type of games like this, but you can't be afraid of the game. That's one thing I would tell you. You can't be afraid to lose. That's the name. It's a winner and a loser. You can't be afraid to jump outside your norm and play a team that's real good, because you're scared it might take your team's pride or it might take your team's spirit. We got to instill that pride and spirit through hard work in the off season, and it will propel you through the regular season.
Well, Coach, it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to being there tomorrow. Good luck tomorrow night. Thanks so much for doing this.
I appreciate y'all. Most definitely. Thank y'all, man.
Absolutely. Coach Tony Brunetti from Pearl Cone joining us, and that is the matchup tomorrow for the Metro Schools Game of the Week, presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers. Yours truly will be back on the call alongside Coach Bubba Spears. Weather didn't cooperate last week. I think it will this week, and we're going to see a good one between Oakland and Pearl Cone. I love this. Rutherford County and Metro Davidson County matchup.
Oh, I do. And the fact that both coaches are willing to do this, like I know coaches who would have, Kevin Creasy would have, I know coaches in that situation who would have never done this. The fact that Coach Creasy recognizes this, and so does Coach Brunetti, 2 of the best coaches in Middle Tennessee. And these kids who play for those 2 guys are lucky kids because they're good men and they're great coaches.
Yep. And Oakland is a fun atmosphere. It's going to be that way tomorrow. They're going to show out for sure there at Oakland High School.
You know how much I love my McGavick Raiders and the McGavick helmet, but what helmet do I have on my desk?
You have an Oakland Patriots because it's Pat the Patriot.
I love the Oakland Patriots helmet, but I just hope it's a good game tomorrow. I'm not picking either side.
Nope.
Hope they both win.
Yep. So looking forward to that. We'll have the Game Blitz pregame coming up at 6. We'll have official pregame coverage at 6:30. Kickoff just after 7. And then Connor Newt and Parker Kelly will take you home on the Game Blitz tomorrow night following our game. We'll have more coming here from the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. It's Chase and Big Joe here on 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday here at the Omni. Be sure to join the one and only Big Joe Dubin alongside Derek Mason and Chris Sanders at JBJ's on Broadway before the Titans take on the Rams. It's our pregame show from 9:30 to 11:30. It's brought to you by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Old National Bank, Circus Sportsbook Kentucky, and Tennessee Brew Works. Looking forward to hearing that. You with a couple of wide receivers.
I love those two guys. I love talking football. I love talking experiences with them, and especially with Cam Ward and the receivers, what they see, what they would do, how they play. Chris started with the Oilers with Steve McNair. I mean, and then Derek came in 2 years later when Steve started as a quarterback in 97. He didn't play in 95, 96. And so he started his career as a starting quarterback in 97. And that was Derek's first year. And you see the maturation, the development of a quarterback once he understands it and gets it. But I think Cam Ward's already got it. I mean, when you got all these other ex-quarterbacks weighing in on his performance, sans bad play calling, he's got it, man.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. So I have a challenge for Dr. Crane. As tonight, Jake and I are going to be milking cows.
Yes.
You're hosting at the Nashville Fair. I asked Dr. Crane during the break if he knew how to lasso, and I need him to learn how to lasso for when Clay shows up. So he comes down here and just lassos Clay and ties him up.
But we want to release Clay back into the wild.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We got to capture him first. I don't think he's that fast, so it'll probably be pretty easy to do.
I think Dr. Crane could do that. Yes. So yeah, Dr. Crane, you could have Nani drive in your car, you hanging out the sunroof, and then you could lasso Clay. Perfect. Oh my gosh, be the perfect thing ever.
I would laugh so hard.
What an image that would be. Clay running down Broadway with a 12 dozen donuts, and I'm trying to
I don't think he'd be
lasso him.
running. He doesn't run.
No, he doesn't
I think
run.
he'd be just kind of walking and not realizing what's going on.
Dr. Crane, would you wear your SMU cowboy hat?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, I'd probably have to be in the wintertime because it's more of those, I guess, the wintertime cowboy hats. I don't have a summer one.
All right, well, I mean, Cowboys do under extreme conditions, man. You could do this.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I could. It just have to be in the wintertime because the hat is for the winter. It's a winter cowboy
Doesn't
hat.
matter. Cowboys don't wake up and say, hey, it's raining. I can't go to work today. They get to work.
That's
no matter
true.
what's going on.
Cowboys don't cry.
They don't cry.
Cowgirls don't cry as well. So I don't know.
Baddest dudes on the planet, man.
Just wanted to point that out. We got a football game tonight there, JoJo. Excited about that?
This is Washington and Green
Green
Bay.
Bay?
Yeah.
2 1-0 teams in Lambeau.
John Gruden had a great rant today about guys that don't. He's like, I got a list of guys on both these teams who didn't play in the preseason, yet you expect them to play 2 games in 5 days.
Yeah.
He goes, that's why the preseason matters.
That's a good
You're
point.
seeing it all the time. Why the preseason matters.
Green Bay, a 3.5-point favorite at home. The total at 48.5. I like Green Bay in this game. I think. Look, I think Washington both teams look good the first week, but I tend to lean towards the home team and Lambeau. They're going to be fired up, so I think the Packers get it done.
See, that's the way I would think too, and then I'd lose.
Yeah, probably.
And then Washington beats them by 30. That's what I see. So yeah, but anyway, it's fun. And when the college game is NC State, Wake Forest tonight, right?
Yeah, there's I think there's a handful tonight. You're a handful.
I am a handful. Watch out now.
No, there's 2. Okay, or there's 1. NC State, Wake Forest. That is correct.
I like that. That's good. Be a good little game. The college football game on the night.
NC State, a 7.5-point favorite.
Where's that game in?
It's at Winston-Salem.
In Winston-Salem. Yeah, that's good. I mean,
On ESPN.
ACC matchup. NC State had a good game versus Virginia. Packed house. I think it was last week or opening week that it was. So
who's their coach now?
Is it Dave Doran at NC
Yeah,
State?
Dave Doran. And then Clausen left Wake Forest.
I don't know who the coach is there now. I have no idea. I have to look that up and see. It's funny. Dave Clausen was the coach in waiting in Knoxville after that, before the 2008 season. And then, of course,
Jake Dickert.
No idea. No clue.
I have no idea who that is.
And then, of course, after the 08 ball season was terrible, they let go of Fulmer. And then Kiffin came in 09 and left after 1 year. And then our boy Derek Dilly came in 2010 to 12, and that was a complete disaster.
Wasn't Dan Enos on Saban's staff?
I don't know. He's had so many coaches run through that
It was
staff.
like Enos, I think. Justin Kramer, is that a name you know?
Nope.
Okay. So you don't know any of
I know
these.
Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy.
I don't think you know any of these guys. So yeah, Wake Forest and in NC State tonight. But I'm looking forward to that Green Bay and Washington game.
It's a good shot for Green Bay to start at 2-0. And how much did Micah Parsons play last week? I didn't see. And
He was on a snap count, but he made an impact.
okay, well, I mean
Yeah.
that's you got him.
Jerry
so-
Jones probably sitting there going, if only we had an impact player on defense.
right. But as we talked about, having Micah last week versus the Eagles wouldn't have helped them, right? I mean, the Eagles probably still would have won that football game. But look, you move on, and for Green Bay to start out 2-0 in that division, that very tough division, they got a big division win over Detroit last week, and Detroit didn't look good at all. And that's again, that's why these preseasons are going to more and more. It's going to matter about the continuity and the cohesiveness between everybody, because these guys, the first time your 11 guys play cannot be in game one. It just can't.
No, 100%. And we've seen that across the league, and it makes it rather sloppy.
It does.
So that's obviously what, but it is what it is. I don't see them changing that stuff anytime soon.
No, not at all.
Unless the league makes them. Coming up next, it's a good day to try and laugh.
It is.
Because I think that's what we all need. Pat McGann, the very funny Pat McGann, who's a comedian, will be at Zany's tonight at 7 o'clock. He has been with Sebastian Maniscalco. He's going to join us coming up next here on the show, live at the Omni Nashville Hotel. So we will talk to Pat. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. On this Thursday, we are live at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Bar Lines and got people in here enjoying their lunch and listening to us. And we're excited to have Pat McGann with us. He's going to be at Zany's tonight.
I am, yes.
Not
Thanks
too
for having
far
me,
from
guys.
here. We're just down the street. So I know you're looking forward to that. We were just talking off the air. A Chicago guy comes down south. I mean, having some fun here in Nashville.
Yeah, definitely. And Zany's, you know, the original is in Chicago, so
Yes.
they have a club down here. That's it. It's Chicago and Nashville, and I have been here a few times. I've opened for Sebastian Maniscalco here at the Polk and at Bridgestone, but Zany's I've done a few times on my own, and I'm really happy to be back.
Zany's is such a intimate venue,
Yeah.
and I think for comics, I mean, it's just perfect because you can, I've actually stood on that stage before and kind of got the perspective of, okay, you know, how much can you really see? I feel like you see a good chunk of the audience, and if you want to have that interaction, it's there for you.
It's intimate, and it's the independently run clubs are the best clubs, and they put comedy first, and they have the comedian in mind, the performer in mind, and it's a historical place too. Everyone's been through there.
Yeah,
it's been there for got to be something 25, 30 years, I would guess.
So Chicago guy comes to Nashville. You know who, when I think of that, who comes to mind? Al Capone.
Oh, there you go. He came through here too?
Yeah,
he did actually.
It was like there were no interstates back then, so he came through Nashville. I think it was 41 would continue him through Nashville down to Chattanooga and down to Florida.
Oh, no kidding.
So we have Al Capone on the show today.
Yeah, there we go.
Way to go, Pat.
Yeah, he's all over Chicago. They I don't know if celebrate is the right word, but he definitely left his mark, and they talk about all the tunnels he built under,
right.
Just to get out of places if things got a little hot, like duck out the back door.
We should he is responsible for putting expiration dates on cartons of milk.
See that? I didn't know that.
Capone is?
Because I think it's his baby sister got deathly sick over expired milk. And he lobbied. You could fact check me, but I'm almost positive that's correct. So he's able to put expiration dates on milk.
See, he was a good guy.
Yep. So there's your show tonight. Good night, Nashville.
Good night, Nashville.
I'm out of there.
Exactly.
So you mentioned you've opened for Sebastian. How did you two get to know each other?
I met him at Zany's in Chicago.
Okay.
He was kind of at the point of his career, he was selling out clubs, and I was the house MC there. So I was hosting all the time, and he was coming through, and he's from Chicago. We're around the same age. We had a lot in common, and he started asking me to open for him kind of in the Midwest, the local shows. And then as his tour grew and he was bringing out his own opener, I was lucky enough to get that call, and our relationship really grew during those years. And to see him go from selling out clubs into the small theaters, into the bigger theaters, and then arenas. The last tour was all arenas. It's been really a great ride, and just to be able to have access to his platform, he shared that with me, and to get in front of his audiences has been very cool.
I ask every comic we have on this same question, but how much differently do you have to prepare when you're doing an arena as opposed to a club like Zany's? Because I have to imagine that's a big difference.
Yes, yeah. Now when I'm with him, I just do material, and it is a little bit harder to connect with the screens though. Now you have the high def screens, you can kind of fill that space, and he does the show in the round, so it is a little bit intimidating, and it's a bit of a disconnect compared to the clubs, but it's less like crowd work for me, less like engaging, and I don't touch the local stuff. I leave that, as when you're opening for someone, there are some unwritten rules that I think you got to kind of abide by. I'm not gonna walk out there and start talking about everything that's going on in Nashville,
right?
Because then it's kind of taking that off of his, So when I'm have my own shows, I can more dive into that and connect at a different level.
We're talking to Pat McGann. We're at Bar Lines on the Nashville Hotel. All right, your travel ball part you talk about, and the bats and the parents. Every comedian needs like that foundation, like they talk about. I mean, it's priceless. I've watched you talk and do that about 1,000 times. It gets funnier because travel ball's out of hand, softball bats are out. I mean, it's all out of hand. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's my son just finished his season, and then now I have one playing hockey, and that might be worse. It's worse on your wallet for sure. And he had a tryout. He's like 10 years old. Had a try. You know what the tryout was? can you come up with $2,500?
I believe it.
Yeah, he came home. He's like, Dad, I made the team. He's like, I know. I got the fraud alert from Chase.
Is he a skater or is he a goalie?
He is a skater. He's
Okay.
actually taken this season off because he kind of fell in love with basketball, which I am much more a bigger fan of. So
Sure. Yeah.
That's a
you know,
little
it's-
easier.
and they
on the wallet.
overlap, and that's the funny thing. Not the funny thing. It's kind of crazy thing. Like these kids have to make a decision almost when you're 10 or 11 years old. Like which one are you going to specialize in? Because if you don't concentrate on one sport, a lot of these other kids are maybe going to pass you by because they are, and they're playing whatever sport they've picked. They're playing it year round.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You know, and they have like coaches, individual coaches, speed and agility coaches when you're in 4th and 5th grade. I mean, it's a racket, right?
It is, and like I have friends that, you know, that they have kids that are kind of at that point, and but they still say like the good coaches, I think, will encourage them, maybe find your focus of, you know, if you're going to go baseball or whatever and do that, but try and play something else too, because
Yeah.
I do think that's important.
Yeah, and it helps you as an athlete, I think, to have a wider skill set and you know, all the different types of coordination. I mean, I know that I saw Wayne Gretzky talk about this because I think he was drafted to play Major League Baseball, and he had like fallen in love with that sport as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't just focused just on hockey. So I don't know. I mean, it's a different world, but I do like that my kids are still playing, you know, a couple of sports, but you can see that they're starting to and need to maybe focus just to have an opportunity to when they try out for a team in high school to be kind of, you know, equal to the other kids they're competing against.
Now, how many kids do we have?
3. I got a girl, 2 boys.
And are they all involved in travel ball?
My little guy, no, but yes, they all each are trying to, you know, they're doing a little bit extra.
So how do you, with 3 doing that, how old are they?
My daughter's 13, and I have a 12 and 11.
So you're an Uber driver,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
I mean, it really is.
But you don't get paid.
That's what we do now as parents. I mean, even that thing that went viral the other day with the Phillies, the Karen
Oh yeah.
grabbing the,
Yeah.
the dad's going to get the ball. Like, we're not even talking about that. Like,
right.
foul ball gets hit down the aisle years back. Are you saying, hey, Dad, go get that for me? No, you're running down there and trying to get it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, why is this kid? Yeah, that's what we do now. We have to, like, you know, and then you have to promote them too. Everyone's posting stuff about their kids, and it's really kind of sick. But
Well, I mean, how do you navigate the world of 3 preteens getting everywhere? I mean, you need like 50 helpers, right?
oh yeah, it takes a village. That's why you have to have the group. Every team comes with a group text too. Right? And then there's people in there oversharing. Like Brooks came make practice tonight. My mother-in-law had a stroke. We're in ICU bedside till we see things through. Go Knights. Like, what the hell? How did we get here?
It's like hope everything's okay.
Yeah. How do you respond?
Yeah.
Just yellow thumb.
Do you overshare?
No.
We all don't. We a little
I
bit.
mean, a little bit.
He'll do that tonight at
groups.
Zany's at 7.
Yeah. A lot of those, you know, we're in an app too. You got the Group Me app, and it's blowing up. You know, you're in the middle of your day, and they're like, "Oh, Jesse needs a ride. Jesse needs a like. Can someone get a ride both ways?" Like, what? Why am I worried about this kid?
I pull up, I go and we do a lot of research when a comedian's coming on, and I pull you up, and it's all talking about the discount furniture you talk about in your show. All right. That's popping up on the Google search and everything. How do you know when something hits? Because evidently the discount furniture skit, and it's funny, it hits. How do you know?
It's really just response from the audience, you know. And I have kind of learned going through this now, being a comic for, you know, a while, is like talking about your personal experiences seems to be what relates the most, you know. So that was all about, that came out, I got divorced and I didn't have any furniture. Because when you are getting divorced, you're not looking ahead like,
Been
hey,
there.
where
Yeah.
am I going to sit? You know? So I scrambled, had to go to Bob's Furniture. Do you guys have that down here, Bob's?
We don't have the
No.
Bob's, but
Yeah.
we got probably similar to Bob's.
And then I, you know, what is some other stuff I'm talking about recently now? It's just these kids, like, and everything they know, because there's so much information coming at them, right? And my kids think they're smart now, which is maybe true, but all the things they think they know compared to what they, like, my son's in my face the other day, like, Dad, did you know there's a meteor coming by Earth in 2032? And has a chance to hit our planet white ball. I was like, really? Yeah. Did you know you're supposed to put the shower curtain in the bathtub? Because if you don't, it creates a lake on the tile floor. And that has a higher chance of wiping us out.
Pat McGann is with us. He'll be at Zanies tonight. You know, observational comedy is the best. I mean, you talk about things that happen in your life, but what is part of your process of taking like those events, putting it into an act that people are going to sit there and laugh at?
You know, it's kind of journaling a little bit, or
Yeah.
you know, everyone laughs throughout the day, right? But you don't always think like, oh, there's more meat on that, or I could jot that down. So as I used to sit with a notebook and write things, and now I'm just like, if I say something in conversation or have a thought, I'll try and build it out on stage, and you know, kind of let the audience tell me if there's more there or something that is connecting. You
Yeah.
know? So that's like kind of the process, I feel.
One thing Zanies does is a new material Monday where people
yeah.
can go and try stuff
Yeah.
out. I mean, is that something that you
for
try and do in
I mean,
Chicago?
everyone has to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, you got to go out on these nights and try new stuff. And those are the most like informative nights. You know, that's really when you're working. It's kind of like, you know, the equivalent of being in the gym, being in the batting cage, hitting balls at the range. When you go to those new material nights and you find out like, you know, maybe half of my ideas suck. No one is really responding at all. But I got a little laugh at that, and I could probably build on that, you know. So you got to go out and eat it sometimes. That's that's the process, and it keeps it, you know, keeps it real. You can't like once you're good at comedy, you're not like automatically good all the time. You're still gonna bomb sometimes.
But you killed it at the rhyme in here. I mean, I saw you open for Sebastian. You were fantastic.
Oh,
Because
thank you, man.
usually it's like, oh God, the opening act, and then
Oh man.
but within
Yeah.
like 30 seconds, you had people laugh, and we were like, this guy's good, really good. And that, I mean, that's got to make Sebastian proud. It's got to make you. I mean, it makes everybody in that little group feel good because you're killing it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. You know, if I am going to get out in front of a crowd like that, then I kind of have more idea. Like I'm going to try things or use things that have worked. You know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, the Sebastian has always been encouraging, and you know, he says it when he's doing interviews and talking about comedy. Like he wants his opener to kill. He wants to, and that's a lot for a comic to be like that, because some don't.
Right.
You know, they want to book someone that is easier to follow, maybe, and you know. But I think he sees it as, and even this last tour, he added another comic, Pete Corielli. We had.
Do we like Pete?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
All right.
But bigger show, and he wants to present that to his audience. So I've learned that as well too. Like I'd like to give other comics opportunities, and it's a competitive. Deal. Showbiz in a way, industry is competitive, but it's friendly too. Most comics I've met are very cool, and they're supportive, and they want comedians to do well, and they want the whole thing to grow.
You played. You started comedy. Did I read this correct? You were 30 when you roughly get up there. How old are you now?
49.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
But you played Madison Square Garden. I know it was Sebastian's show, but you got to play. Was that a moment like, oh my God, what is happening?
Oh, definitely. You know, you mentioned the Ryman earlier, and I'm into history. I like the history of a lot of the venues. That really strikes me. So to go to a place like the Ryman, to go to MSG, Madison Square Garden, you know, there's so much there, and they really embrace the history, and they're very welcoming too to the artists. Like I got in my dressing room, and they had like a gift there, welcome to the Garden, and you know, that rings with other people too when they see like, oh dude, you're doing the Garden, you're going out, you know, people come out and they travel to New York to see the show. So that was those moments, and we got to go back there too. Very special to be able to get to do that. I always related to the Bulls. You know, I grew up with Jordan in that era, and I would always watch them beat up the Knicks and going into the Garden, and they would be hyped. You know, when the Bulls were going out there, they would build it up, you know, like you guys are going to be in New York City next week. So when I would go into those arenas, I was always thinking of it as a sports fan first, and then all the other things that have happened there. And you walk around the concourse of the Garden, and they had the whole history documented, all the things that have gone on there.
Who did, as a Bulls fan, who did you just despise?
The Pistons early.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that was like when they finally got through that, that was that's what I loved about that era. Guys weren't changing teams and joining power teams and creating their own path to get a ring. You had to go through the fire. So the Pistons rivalry early was huge. Then the Knicks became a big deal. They were kind of competitive with them. And, later on, the Pacers. I mean, everybody in the East you kind of hated,
Yeah, right.
The West wasn't really much of a threat. Although the Houston Rockets were and they never faced each other in the playoffs.
I know, because Jordan took the 2 years off and then came back in '96 and won 3 more. But it's what Chase and I talk about all the time. We didn't grow up here. I did with professional sports. The Titans didn't come until '98, the Predators. But you had that in your backyard. That must have been a hell of a time to grow up in Chicago.
Oh, it really was. I mean, that was, if you look back for me, it was like when I first was aware of sports was like 82, 83. The White Sox were really good. Then they had the Cubs had a decent 84, and then the 85 Bears. So when you think about Michael Jordan and the 85 Bears and all that, it would seem like a pretty cool place to be growing up. We had some really great, every town you put up the Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah.
And I think maybe most of that Mount Rushmore in Chicago were players that I got to see play growing up.
Beautiful.
I think like most kids in the 90s, I love the Bulls. I love Jordan, Pippen. And so I was telling you, my friend lives in Chicago now and works at the Score. And so I went up to see him, and I was, late 30s, first time getting to see a Bulls game live.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, even though they were terrible, just because they still do the entrance and play serious and now, and I was just like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan played here. And then last year, we got to fly up with the Predators when they played the Blackhawks, and we're downstairs and walked by the Bulls locker room.
Oh, that's very cool.
And stuff at United Center. So I mean, I certainly get that because they were awesome then. So
yeah, and it's
really cool.
It's changed a lot in my lifetime, just the stadiums. And now the Bears might be leaving Soldier Field. They're going to build something out in the suburbs, which is kind of feels a little weird.
Come on, Pat, you're popular now. You can stop this.
Yeah, I wish I
Right?
could. That seems like a done deal now.
The Cubs will never leave Wrigley.
No, they won't.
The White Sox are looking. The Bears are looking. The UC will need something at some point. But
And the Chicago Stadium was an unbelievable place.
Yeah.
That had so much history, and that was an electric atmosphere. And now the United Center is cool, right? And it's right across the street from where the old stadium was. I like that part of it. Stay in Chicago. Stay right there, close.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny to think about all the things that have changed since the early days, for me.
We're told we can keep you as long as we can. That's what I'm told. So
Who told you that?
So
people, he made that up.
So can you hang out for a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Pat McGann is with us. He will be at Zanies tonight. You can get tickets at patmcganncomedy.com or zanies.com. We'll have more with him. Coming up next, Chasing Big Joe, live from the Omni, 102.5 The Game. Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Thursday. We're live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Our guest, Pat McGann, is with us. He's going to be at Zany's tonight. We're usually we're very friendly. The Blackhawks and the Preds haven't had the rivalry in a few years, so I think we're cool right now.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty hot.
We're
for a
waiting on
while,
you.
though.
We're waiting on you guys to get good again, and the Preds kind of have some work to do as well. So
Well, the Predators had the last laugh, right?
Yeah.
And it was the Blackhawks were good for a while, very good for a while, and then the Predators kind of overtook them, and now they're both kind of in a rebuilding or finding each other phase.
yeah,
So it's friendly.
it is friendly for now.
We're not a threat. You guys, we're no threat, right?
We're good.
Is it Cubs or Sox for you?
White Sox, yeah.
White Sox.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Attaboy. Thank you
Okay.
for that, Pat.
Yeah, I'm a real Chicagoan.
Yeah, I have learned now that going to Chicago a lot in the last few years. Everybody's told me you'd be a Sox fan. Like if you lived here, you'd be. I mean, the Cubs are cool. It's Wrigley's cool, whatever. But they're all like, you'd be a Sox fan
Why is that?
because more
Purist.
purists, yeah. And like the Cubs are the trendy pick, I
Yeah.
guess, because they're the lovable losers and all those things.
I mean, if you move there and a team is going to grab you, the Cubs are going to grab you with their atmosphere, the party, the location of the stadium, the vibe. The White Sox are like, there's some grit to being a White Sox fan.
See, I
you
love
know?
Sox Park. Like I like going there.
Yeah, I like it too. It took a while for me to get it. I admit, I love the old park. That
Yeah.
was all I knew. So it was like kind of strange when they tore that down. It was the oldest park at the time. It was the oldest stadium. Ton of history there, and they didn't really get it right when they first opened that stadium. They have since really
Yeah.
changed it. They tore the whole top 20 rows off of it and like made it more intimate.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have, I really carry the flag for the White Sox. I think the real core organization for all the things that they've contributed, putting names on the jerseys, fireworks, having walk-up music. I think they started that. They had Nancy Faust with the organ, the Na Na Hey Hey Goodbye. The other thing they started really leaning into was turn back the clock. They used to turn back the clock, the retro uniforms. Now retro uniforms are every other day.
Yep.
And they were really kind of on the forefront of that. And we have the Pope.
Yeah, you have the
Yeah,
Pope.
you do.
That's right.
If that's not a sign the world is coming to an end, the Pope is a Chicago White Sox fan. Like, how does that compute?
So he knows misery.
He knows attendance issues. I think that's why they brought him on board.
Were you a White Sox fan when they wore those the jerseys with the knickers or whatever
Like
they
the
had?
shorts.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that was like 77. I was born in 76. So that was like right. I mean, I wasn't really a Sox fan yet. But that Bill Veeck era, someone should do a movie on Bill Veeck.
Oh yeah, he was the original like P.T. Barnum for baseball, right?
Yeah. I mean, most of the things I just mentioned that, the White Sox started, he started.
Yeah.
And he's actually credited with planting the ivy at Wrigley Field too. He was an intern there. He owned the Cleveland organization. He brought in Eddie Goodell.
Yeah.
Remember all these things that this guy did? They should make a movie about him. He had an ashtray in his leg. He had a prosthetic leg and he had an ashtray in his leg.
I mean, think about that today. If an owner brings up, and I'm going to say it, a midget to bat as a joke, they'd be ostracized.
No kidding.
That was celebrated.
Right. And I always say to my dad, because my dad would tell me that story, like, you always make baseball seem so hard, like back in the day. Like, why didn't someone throw it in that guy's ear? They didn't just drill Eddie Goodell.
Yes, right. Get it done with that. Have you love Chicago? Have you played the United Center?
I have, yes, with Sebastian.
That had to be something.
It was a lot of fun, again, going back to just the sports history of the venue and just being in that space. And for me, I do a good amount of stuff in Chicago, and I have a little bit of a following there, and just everyone coming out just to see that show. Very cool. But the Chicago Theater, I think, is more.
Oh yeah.
Those theaters, that size of a theater is the ultimate for me for comedy, because it's still pure in a sense. You're not blowing out, it's still kind of computes. Like, I always see a stage live performer on this stage, and those are the ones I really love to do.
Who makes you laugh?
Oh man, that's a good question. Who makes me laugh? My girlfriend here. She's very funny. I laugh with Kim a lot. I have a lot of comics that I admire. You know, I mean, I do enjoy watching Sebastian. His performing skills just blow me away, and I feel like I've learned a lot just from watching him. But growing up, man, I loved Eddie Murphy. I loved watching Saturday Night Live at that time. David Letterman was the guy that I really was like, man, this dude is just funny, funny in conversation, funny with the bits, the sketches, and he has some history doing stand-up too. Nowadays, I mean, you guys have Nate here. He's hilarious, very funny dude. And then, you know, you ever hear Kathleen Madigan? You ever see Kathleen Madigan?
She lives here?
She lives in Nashville. Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
I'm a big fan of Kathleen Madigan. Very funny. So many good comics. Who do you like?
I think you're funny. I mean, I'm telling you,
appreciate that.
you killed it the rhyming that night. I mean, it was great. I love Sebastian. He is us. I mean, his skits on basketball and, you know, what happens when somebody knocks on your door today? How do you react? I mean, things, I mean, that's just stuff like Chase and I were talking about. Those are everyday conversations that we have.
Right.
And that guys like you and Sebastian and Nate really bring that to forefront. It takes a lot to make me laugh. I mean,
it does. I've been trying for 14 years.
Enjoying it? Are you sometimes enjoying it internally and you're not laughing out loud?
I am, but I love to write, but I'm also thinking, all right, how did you come up with this? Then you got to deliver it perfectly. When did you write it? What spurred you to write it?
Yeah.
And then did it work immediately? But you knew it worked, but it's not working on the stage and you kept with it. Like, I know this will work. And I remember Jeff Foxworthy had the same thing. Like, I know something's working. I know it, but nobody's laughing. And he says, I'm going to go till I find somebody to laugh at. And he found that and it takes off. So I'm always in your head.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my problem, that I'm in Pat McGann's head.
I can relate to that though. Like, I'll be enjoying something and maybe not laughing out loud, maybe not like rolling in the aisles. Like, and I have experienced that too. Like at a show, I'll see somebody staring at me and like, what's up, man? Like, are you here? Like, you know, and like, no, I'm having fun. This is great. Like, tell your face.
Yeah.
Right. Like, sometimes you just don't show it.
Do you like crowd work?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy Carr is very funny.
Very.
We cannot repeat Jimmy Carr on this radio station because we lose our job. But that's genius level. I think you guys are genius level to be able to do that immediately.
He's brilliant. Yeah, very quick. I do like doing crowd work, and I kind of didn't at first. It was very uncomfortable for me to get used to talking to the audience. But when I was hosting at Zany's in Chicago, they encouraged you to welcome everyone, find out where people are from, if they're celebrating something, they're there for something special, you know. And then I would just start to ask questions, and that's really what you have to do. You have to stay like in the pocket. Ask a question. If it's not funny right there, like there might be something else, and just to continue. And you got to listen, you know. So it's definitely something I enjoy. It makes every show different for me. It keeps everything a little bit fresh, but I also enjoy doing the material too.
What do you tell guys like? I know Chase wants to do it. There's people out there like, I want to go to open mic night, but I'm not sure. What would you tell them, Pat?
I would say, chill out, man. You got a radio show. I'm not coming on here like I'm going to do radio. I'm going to start my own show. No, I would say just talk about, you know, stuff you got going on, your own life, your own personal stuff. You know, I always tell people, go to a couple of open mics. That'll build your confidence because some of the open mics are brutal.
Right.
You know? And I say that like being part of it sometimes. I can go up and be brutal and, you know, not have great stuff. But when you see other people have to go through that, maybe it gives you a little bit more comfort being like, well, I can at least do that, or I could be prepared. Some people go to these things, they're not even prepared. They don't have. So if you have like a couple ideas and an outline of what you want to do, and then I always tell people too, you got to like record your set, listen to it afterwards too. And then you can kind of start building something. Do you guys do that? Do you watch your shows? Do you watch your stuff?
Never.
I do.
He does. I spent 20 years in TV, Pat, as a sports anchor, roughly. I've never, maybe 5 times watched myself. So I'm like, who hired that guy?
I can tell.
No, I do. And I didn't for a while, but because I was kind of the same way. But, you know, people kept telling me like, no, it's like a athlete watching tape. Like
Right.
you need to do it.
It is so tough to do, though.
Yeah.
I hear both sides here, and I am like, I say you should do that, and then I don't necessarily always do it. Like if I record 5 shows, I might be able to watch 1 or 2 of them, and then you kind of slowly go back and look at them. But it is tough to watch yourself.
Yes.
Time.
I feel like comedy is like you're saying of, as you're getting into it and practicing and all that I wanted to say sport, but is a job where, the first few times you're probably not going to be good. But you're going to keep getting the opportunity because that's the only way you're going to get better. Is that a fair assessment?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's just really like anything else, the continual grind, and, it doesn't come out as gold. You have to refine it. You have to change it, and you have to add to it, subtract from it. It's always like you say, like you like to write. Well, good writing is good editing, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
you really have to. There's oftentimes a lot of fat on what you're trying to say.
I tell people 98% of what I write is embarrassing bad.
Oh yeah.
But the 2%, gold.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Go. So you write, what is it? You write from your heart and you edit with your brain. I think that's what Hemingway famously said. And so I'm not Hemingway yet, but I think that's a good way to put it. But you just keep trying and trying and trying. And I tell people, let's time, Pat, there's open mics here where 4 people show up. And I have a friend of mine said, well, I'm not going to go. 4 people show up. I said, if you don't go, you'll never go. Right. Whether it's 4 people, 8 people, 15,000 people, don't quit.
Yeah.
Just don't quit doing that. Because if you quit, you're done.
Right. Yeah. You have to stay at it. Keep going.
And you get to hear all this tonight as Pat McCann opens for Chase tonight, Zany's tonight, starting at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, something like that. I have to ask you mentioned Letterman earlier. We love David Letterman on this show. I grew up watching The Late Show. He's one of my favorites. You did The Late Show, right?
I did. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was incredible. I mean, that was if I ever had a goal in doing this, it was probably that. Like I wanted to be on Letterman.
That's so cool.
That was the only show I really pursued. And it was an out-of-body experience. One cool thing was Kevin Bacon was on the episode, the show I did. So I always like it, that whatever, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I crossed paths with him. And then I got to do it a second time. And the second time I did it was in a way more enjoyable because I was more present and more able to, I didn't have as many questions about what it was going to be like, because that first time you don't know what, you don't know where your dressing room is. You don't know like when they're going to bring you down, and you don't know like the whole, and you talk about history. I was mentioning the history of these venues. The Ed Sullivan Theater, right before I went out there, I think the guy was, I don't know if he was trying to relax me, but he's like, hey, this is where the Beatles made their debut. Elvis, have a good time. Like, oh, that helps. When you come out there and you see, I still remember like, Paul Schaefer there, the band, and then like David Letterman's right there. Like, it looks like you're further away on TV. He's pretty much right there. You could hear him reacting to some of the bits, and that is distracting in a way.
Yeah.
Right?
Who was the guest the second time?
Bill Hader.
Okay.
Was a guest that night, and oh man, a guy from, I forget his name, but he was in the zombie show that was on A&E. I never really watched it.
Walking Dead?
Yes. Yeah, he was in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Forget the guy's name.
It doesn't matter, but Pat
I'm
McCann
sure he doesn't remember my name.
But we do. We know who you are, Pat.
Yes, we do. Pat McCann, you'll be at Zany's tonight. Hey, thanks for doing this, man. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you guys. This has been a blast. Appreciate that. And to be live and out here with people in Nashville is beautiful.
Yes. Enjoy our fair city, and good luck tonight.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you both.
Pat McCann joining us here on the program. We'll have more coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game on this Thursday. We're live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. 1025 The Game is teamed up with Pella Windows and Doors and the Nashville Humane Association for a puppy pet adoption this Saturday at Pella, 256 East Main Street in Hendersonville from 10 to noon. For more, just visit thegamenashville.com/events. Appreciate Pat McGann for joining us here on the program. And Joe, that was good stuff. That was very funny.
Well, I think he's like us. He's
Yeah.
just a regular dude who gets comedy and makes people laugh, and observational comedy and funny. And we both love comedians because it's not easy, right? I mean, it's just, you don't get your degree in college and immediately you're a famous comedian. I mean, you've got to grind for years. So it's always fun to talk to them.
Yeah, and look, we've obviously switched time slots recently, and now at noon to 3. But for those of you that have been with us, you know what we're about. That yes, we're a sports show, but we're going to talk about life and pop culture and kind of observational things. We're going to talk, to comedians and not be as serious, straight sports talk as other shows that you might get. But look, DVD, that's what they're going to give you and do a great job of it. And so that's what we try to do. And so we hope it's entertaining. We feel like it is. And having somebody like Pat on, that was really cool.
Amen. Also, go to Zanies. Never been to
Yes.
Zanies? Go to Zanies.
Absolutely. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is and celebrity birthdays, plus the mashup. Chasing Big Joe, 1025 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Thursday, wrapping things up here at the Omni Nashville Hotel at Barlines. And it's been a great show. Jeff Fisher, Mike Griffith. We had our high school coaches on, and then Pat McGann.
Yeah.
Awesome time here at the Omni today. But with that, it is time. Everybody loves it, to do what we must, and that is celebrity birthdays. And what day is it? It's brought to you by Jarrett Companies, Inc., the backbone of Middle Tennessee's construction scene since 1997. JarrettCompaniesInc.com, above and beyond industry standards.
All right. First on the list, we have I Want to Start My Own Business Day. Shout out to those business goers. Libraries Remember Day. All right. Multiple libraries. There we go. Let's see.
Okay.
That's a lot of them. All right. Make Your Bed Day is today. I feel like everybody should do that every day.
I have been doing a better job of that lately.
I mean, that's rule number one. And then you go brush your teeth.
I was never good at that, and I have made it a point.
All righty. National Day of Service and Remembrance. Obviously, today's 9/11.
Yep.
Remember those that have lost. National Emergency Responders Day. Celebrating those. National Hot Cross Buns Day.
Oh, yeah.
So-
I learned that on the xylophone.
Yep. National No News is Good News Day. Patriot Day, obviously, is today. Remembering Freedom Day is today. Are You Okay Day is today. That's celebrated in Australia. So, and then last but not least, Women's Baseball Day.
No crying
Very
in
nice.
baseball, Dr. Crane.
I thought
Yeah.
hot cross buns was your Pilates class you went to.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Thank you, Dr. Crane. Time for celebrity birthdays. Got to get these within two. Before we start, did you know that Tom Landry and Bear Bryant were both born on this day?
I did not know
To
that.
the iconic
That's cool.
football coaches. All right. Our first birthday is, she's beautiful. Actress Virginia Madsen. How old is Virginia Madsen?
What was she in?
She was in a movie. I forgot the name of it, but there's a scene that we all remember.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Was it Two Moon Junction? Was that the movie? I think it is. Yes.
64.
68.
64 exactly. Good
Wow,
job,
I had
Chaser.
no idea.
Out of the gate. Hey, man, no apologies on this show for knowing the answers. All right, big time. All right, our next birthday is Harry Connick Jr.
61.
57.
58. What
Wow.
TV show was he the boyfriend? It wasn't Friends. He was the boyfriend of Will and Grace.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
That's
He's
right.
great. He is so talented too, man. All right, so going down. Ludacris. How old's Ludacris?
Atlanta's own. 48.
50.
48 exactly. Chaser's on a roll, 4-0. Actress Elizabeth Henstridge. She was in that movie with Johnny Depp where she came back from space, and I think that's right, according to this. Elizabeth Henstridge. She's also in Marvel and y'all's little nerd DC comic movies.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. 47.
50.
38. All right, movie director Brian De Palma.
61.
65.
85. Actress Amy Madigan, who's married to Ed Harris and was Kevin Costner's wife in Field of Dreams.
Yep. 63.
60.
75.
Jeez.
Guitar player Tommy Shaw of Styx.
73.
70.
72. Chaser's up 5-1.
Lives here, I believe.
He does. Let's see. Where did she go? Sports reporter Leslie Visser.
AB, we appreciate you listening, by the way. Leslie Visser. 68.
57.
72. On down, actress Christy McNichol.
58.
60.
63. Lead singer of Lady A, Charles Kelly. Well, he's a female with him, but he's the other guy.
Yeah. 46.
53.
44. Chase up 6-1. Paul Heyman. Wrestling
Paul?
manager,
Oh, Paul E. He is 63.
61.
60. It's 6-2.
Oh, nice.
Ellis Burks, former Boston Red Sox outfielder.
73.
67.
61. Shelton Quarles, Tampa Bay linebacker. He's with the Bucks, and he went to Whites Creek High School. Played at Vanderbilt. Hell of a player.
He's still playing?
He is not.
Oh.
Uh-oh. With Austin P as well. No. Vanderbilt or Austin P. One of the
58.
55.
54. Now 6-3. Kentucky basketball coach Mark Pope.
44.
Hopefully I get this right, Connor. I'm going to go 52.
53. It's now 6-4. Former Red Sox player Jacob Ellsbury.
Jacoby Ellsbury.
Jacoby?
Yeah.
I would write that down correctly.
Jacoby Ellsbury is 47.
45.
42. Our last birthday. Dr. Crane is Derek Mason in the studio.
He is not.
All right. Well, I would allow you some help on this. All right, Chase, how old is Ed Reed?
55.
All right, it's
53.
6-4. How old?
53.
Oh, at the buzzer, you lose. See, 47. Chase wins 6-4. Good job, everybody.
Great stuff.
Job. Do we have the mashup?
Indeed.
I don't know if we can hear it, but go ahead and play it. And a happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome in Chase and Big Joe. 1025 The Game, live at Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Hope you're having a great start to your day. 50 helpers, right?
Oh, yeah, it takes a village. That's why you have to have a group. Every team comes with a group text, too. Right? And then there's people in there oversharing. Like, Brooks came make practice tonight. My mother-in-law had a stroke. We're in ICU, bedside, until we see things through. Go Knights. Like, what the hell? How did we get here?
It's like, so you don't know.
I know Cosmo Kramer.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good guy.
You know, and he had a tryout. He's like 10 years old. Had a try. You know what the tryout was? Can you come up with $2,500?
I believe it.
Yeah, he came home. He said, Dad, I made the team. He's like, I know. I got the fraud alert from Chase. Has a chance at hitting our planet. White balls. Are they really? Yeah. Did you know you're supposed to put the shower curtain in the bathtub? Because if you don't, it creates a lake on the tile floor. That has a higher chance of wiping us out.
There you go. That's our mashup for today. And great job, Dr. Crane. That is going to do it for us here at the Omni.
Yeah, as we lead the show every day, look, we really want to thank you all. Our question today was, what's good in this world? What are you grateful for? We got so many responses. Sorry we couldn't get to all of them, but thank you. And I say every day there's a lot of good and a lot of grateful things in this world. And if you are struggling with something, please reach out, talk to somebody. Always quick on your cell phone. You can dial 988-988, talk to somebody, or text, or you can. We got help for you on our website, thegamenashville.com. Click on the Chase and Big Joe Show. There's a link to Unity Psychiatric Care. We tell you all the time to talk to somebody. Whatever you're going through, please talk to somebody. Know that this world is a great place because you are here. Please know that and believe that. Know that we love you. And more than anything else in this world, God loves you.
Amen to that. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD coming up next here on 1025 The Game.